to create middle class. How was the middle class created? There's no rocket science. What created, so people don't know what created what you call middle class, which is what most people that travel are aspiring for. Anybody that is traveling is not aspiring to become the owner of those countries. Is to have a good life. That is middle class. That decision is a middle class decision. Anybody that remains can be saying, I want to break through. But anybody that leaves this country, it is middle class decision you have made. Best upper middle class. But you are not going to anybody's country to come and take over their country from them. They are not Mughals. They are not. The reason why they are calling for immigration is that this is the reason why. It's mathematics. If I saw someone that was joking, so I say, you are past 50, they can't give you anything. Because you only have 15 more years to work. You will benefit from more from their system than you give to them. The issue is that their population is getting old. They can no longer fulfill their obligation of pension to the older population. So they need to get fresh workers to tax so that they'll be able to pay their people, or else their system will collapse. So they said, go and bring people from everywhere there. The reason why a country like Canada is giving passport is that under normal circumstances, people won't go to Canada. It's too cold. So they've looked at it. That how do we beat them? After 3 years, you give them passport. For citizens, because if they just live in flats, people go to UK and go to America, what are they going to do there? They'll give us, so everybody goes there. But the purpose is, their own purpose is that you work, and then they tax you, and they pay their own old people money. Now, the only way you can break through in the economic system is you must have access to capital. You understand what I'm saying? That's the bank must loan you $10 million, $25 million. Oh boy, it is written. That kind of money shall not be given to the immigrant. It's only GT Bank Care Access that can give you. So I'm telling you that it is a commitment to what middle, but people are fine. Middle class means you have 2 cars, you have your house, you take Instagram photograph, But let me just say this. Let me just say where middle class came from. It was Ford Motors, Henry Ford. What happened was that there was no middle class before. There were aristocrats and there were very poor people. So what happened was that one time the poor people were angry that they weren't treated properly, so they started to riot. So the Henry Ford people got military, they came in and shot. Workers died and the thing escalated. And so he called consultants, how are we going to appease them? He said, create a system whereby they will have their own house, they will have their own cars. So when they're working, what you do is that we'll create a financial system where they can get house on credit. And what they will do is that they will pay it back over the 25 years that they're working. They can have cars, they will pay it back. So they created that system, which is what you call middle class now, which is a credit system whereby if you are working now in Ford Motors, you can go into the bank, they'll give you a house, you are living in your own house, you have your own car, you're okay. That most of those people don't have aspirations to build any company. They just want to have a good life. So you want to create middle class here in Nigeria. So they say, what if they don't pay the loan back? Then the government created a bank to guarantee those loans. Finish. They are going to do it in Nigeria. So young people, once you finish, you can buy a house, 4-bedroom, in a nice place, suburb, the roads will be very good. And they just stipulate that, but nothing must happen. You must work for the next 25 years, and you'll be paying back a certain amount. And then if the God of breakthrough visits you, then you break through. You follow what I'm saying here? But you are guaranteed. So those communities, they gave them good school, water. That's what most people, that's all. And then summer, you go for summer, go for, that's all. So, no matter what we preach, that's what most people, it's few people that are saying who will break through and own the coming, and those kind of people must have chest because they will shake you very well for you to get to that kind of place. But most people, that's why most people are migrating. Once you stop that, and bread begins to come back, and people are coming from houses, and as they're taking their photograph in Australia, you're taking your own photograph to a new Lekki center, driving, and all of you, these people are enjoying like us now, and they have malls, and all of you are, nobody is discriminating, nobody say you're black. Oh, start coming back. All right, Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for your word, and by the power of your Spirit, we ask that you establish us in this truth and in all righteousness in Jesus.